Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Corey Loses for the continuation of our Fall of the Republic 1.1 playthrough as the CIS. In the last episode, we pushed through the core over to Kuat to take out the last super capital shipyard of the Republic, and we are going to keep building up at Fondor just in case they decide another attack at Fondor is what they want to do, while we look for the ground units that I thought I sent somewhere. I thought we had ground units up there, but may not. Anyways, let's send this fleet, which we've left alone for a little while, over here. We are going to send you back to Forost. And we do have some ground units on this side. I'm just not sure if we can get through Telti. That's going to be a pretty big fleet. And the fastest ground force. Well, is this the ground force we were sending? Yeah, okay. So we don't need to worry about getting through Deco. That's a 440 stack. This one's 374. I think the plan had been to go with this up to Kutrick if we could. But that's going to take a little bit of doing. Well, Ithor, we can probably go to Ithor. Ethor. Yeah, they're going to be there in a second. Just hopefully... I forget where we had run into ground to space weapons. I'm hoping we don't get blocked on the way to Kuat. Otherwise, we'll have to escort those.
Choose your reinforcements.
Ionize the oxygen. Our LBC.
This planet is ours.
Okay. CSA also get... So, Reventers is asking, will the CSA also get new ground units and sort of market for ground units from other factions? So, the ship market mechanic that I've spoken about briefly will include some ground unit stuff. But it'll be a while before we... Like, I'll have a dedicated video on that when we're going to be talking about it. It's not something that I'm really going to... It's going to be announced fully in a streamed episode for another campaign. I won't be able to adequately explain it until it's in-game, and it's best to not promise stuff until it exists. Apocalypse was asking again... I would love a broadside function for the Editor and possibly the Providence, where they're going to shoot their heavy artillery guns. It's seen in the third movie, The Bad Batch of 8. The Veteran Province will need to go near a ship to activate the function. As soon as that happens, you can activate the function, the cannon will start firing. So all the weapons that the ships have are represented within their armaments. So, like, all the heavy turbo lasers, all the everything is represented in the weapons of those ships. What you're essentially asking for would be, like, power to weapons on some of the more powerful guns. Which is what the like the Providence tends to have. Like, there's a bunch of ships that do have abilities like that, but there's not going to be like some extra special weapons we give super short range to that you turn on and do a bunch of damage at short range. That wouldn't really be something that makes sense to give them. You want to do more ability types, but like that isn't really... Like, that there's nothing that would really be representing that isn't already represented in the game or isn't already present in the form of some other abilities. Did I lose those Gozantes? Probably. Okay. This Kolovex, come on.
I will assign you one of my minions.
Alright, I'm gonna send Ionize the Oxygen a bit closer that way. You over here.
What is it, my lord? Let us take what we want.
Alright. So all the golems are now dead. This only took like 3 invasions to get Thor down, but it's happening now. Get over there so you can actually hit the shipyard. And I set all this up properly. Hold on. Yep. Already had the alt tab there to check OBS.
I will send one of my minions. A command I like. We will show no mercy.
Yeah, they're really getting a lot of hyper velocity gunshots in there.
The lasers are our target.
Well, again, it's not about difficulty. It's about just, like, that wouldn't be that difficult to do to give them some weapons that only fire under the effect of an ability or that kind of thing, but that the way it's presented there doesn't really represent anything. Like, the things you're asking to be represented are things that are, like, capabilities that are already represented on the ships, and abilities that, for those ships, wouldn't really add anything. Like, we already have all the heavy guns on the ships represented, so having an ability that turns on heavy guns doesn't really get you anywhere. And there's already, like, power-to-weapon abilities, that kind of thing. And making the game, like, weirder with ranges, that's an ability the AI would never really be able to use properly. Like, you can code them to know when to turn it on or not, it's just they wouldn't be effectively able to, like... You wouldn't want to tell the AI to send their ships in range for that kind of thing. Because they just throw them away, ultimately.
Republic resistance does not concur with my calculations. All forces withdraw.
You have ground to space there. Alright, I'm gonna send these guys to Ethor.
Acknowledged.
And we're basically gonna have these guys set up over the planets that we want to take next.
Tactical battle.
Oh shit.
Imminent.
I'd hate to have to go around the other way. If we can take all these planets, though, we do split the Republic in half in the core. I think we can. Tax-deductible investment here. See if we can play with ranges on this. Like, yeah, it's not that much stuff. Especially if we can get the shields down on 2 of the victories. Anti-fighter and the fighters back there. I mean, we don't... Anti-fighter... Did we have 2 Vulture Squad?
The lasers are our target. Our target priority is the laser cannons.
They're going for different things. Looks like they are.
Take out the iron cannons.
Alright, now you finish that off. Okay. We can take advantage of them wanting to kite back when they lose shields a little bit. What's the difficulty? This is on Cruel Admiral. Back there. Stay on that. Alright, looks like they don't want to retreat it. But we've got pretty much everything down. We are going to lose if you know you're expendable. If you're expendable and you know it, clap your hands. Well, guess what? You know yourself very well. Okay, let's get some of the heavier weapons down.
Directing all fire at the missile launchers.
There we go. Now we get to use all of the weapon arcs.
Those torpedo launchers must be destroyed. Direct fire on the engines. Our target priority is the laser cannons. The missile launchers are the primary target. Directing all fire at the missile launchers.
Refusing programming and running.
The lasers are our target.
Alright. Easy.
Our primary target is those iron cannons. Take out the iron cannons. Our target priority is the laser cannons.
Alright, nice power to weapons. You're going to be dead before you're on the right side. I like the particles, so that's nice. Actually, I really don't like the particles. They're ugly. It'd make more sense if it was like the particle was like a little turbo laser icon that's flashing red. Just put it on all the turbo laser hardpoints.
Eliminated.
The lasers are our target.
Look out!
Our target priority is the laser cannons. Our primary target is those iron.
Alright, kill those. And you kill the Corvettes, I guess.
Mark destroyed. Located.
Well, you're a bomber. There's definitely nothing that would work at all in the bomber reworks, but we can send you after some Corvettes. Like, you'll still die right now, but they can't negate your damage.
Prepare your recycling algorithm. Mark destroyed. Located.
Okay. Kill everything.
Activated.
How many squads of Y-Wings? Like, 2... Okay, 3 squads of Y-Wings. We got some lasers. Well, all of you, go for the Y-Wings first.
Destroyed. Republic Organic. Flash coming. Target destroyed.
Go for the Arc 170s.
How are you doing that?
Bombers.
Mark destroyed. Unknown target alive. Unit eliminated.
Alright. Now it's just the little XQ.
Underground. Mark destroyed.
Or little XQ. And... nope. The Ion Blast for that, very necessary. Shouldn't have saved that juice for anything. Got it. Alright. You're expendable and you know it. Clap your hands. Keep on clapping there, buddy. We'll get there someday.
Destination set.
You're going to Alderaan. And we will save before we go into this this nice ground battle. Because we are going to be taking every planet up to Kuat, apparently. And I might move that fleet from Ethor over to Arinda? I think that's Arinda. We'll probably want them to take out some of the northern stuff. Like, let's see here. Yeah, you're going to Arinda. Oh no, we got ground forces coming in, so never mind. I was just worried about the grounded space weapons, so...
Trade Federation battleship here.
So it's Volpter, and then it's Ethor.
Forming squad. Squad assignment accepted. I'm on
Right.
point.
Let's see.
Choose your reinforcements.
The fight's not over.
Let's go with some AATs to get up to this landing pad, landing zone. And
Secured a
grab what I think is still a sensor array.
Destroy the
We've
clone.
lost a build pad. We've lost a build pad.
I hate clones. Pretty impressive. The fight's not over.
Alright, get over there.
Successful tactical adjustment. We got here.
No orbital bombardment.
We made
We've
it.
captured an abandoned sensor
Reload your
array.
nav program. Wow, we really
We
killed
do have
this.
bombing runs.
A build pad.
Forming squad.
Alright, let's get some healing. See, that scared me.
Squad assignment accepted.
Edox yet?
Calculating attack. Roger, roger. Yay. Battle mode active.
And we will get the field base at this one. Well, they don't have any planetary shields or anything, so we can at least bombard them.
Better hide. Wrong direction.
We've secured a landing zone.
Hey, nice.
And you guys up there.
Uh-oh. No, you don't. Yay!
So we will get a support field base, SPDs, Hailfires.
Ready to destroy the clones. Successful tactical adjustment. Full assault mode.
Yeah, I don't think I gave the patron units the bombardment stuff for this one. Winter's asking, can you talk a bit about Zinj, his new battle cruiser? Is it still in planning stages? I've never heard of that one before. So if you mean the Serennan, it is basically a name that never got an official design or anything. But Seratul has made one, and we were trying to go with some relatively high offensive capabilities and kind of experimental looking stuff with Zinj. So it fit really well with what we were going for with the faction. Like, a lot of the Warlord stuff, we get more leeway to kind of explore less known or background stuff.
Destroy the clones. It's about to explode. Roger, roger. Preparing to bury
It seemed like a good fit.
not over. Full assault mode. Forming squad. All systems charged. Die, clone.
Alright, kill you.
Calculating attack.
What are we gonna bomb? Bomb you.
Initiate attack run. Missile
Hellfires, come in and support.
Hate clones.
You guys come in as well. Oh, questions are always good.
Roger, roger.
That kid? Ian yells asking, speaking of warlords, who provided Leonia Tavira's new voice lines? I don't remember who that was. We have a spreadsheet with that kind of stuff, but audio is part of the mod that I'm, like, least involved in. So I don't really know a lot of that offhand, unless I recognize the voice as someone I know.
Ready to destroy the clones. We made it.
It's a much smaller map, so that trigger it move closer to the base. I assume you mean the light factory here? Yeah, like, I think this map needs some pretty significant changes gameplay-wise. Because it started off much bigger, and then it's been kind of clipped down, but there's some other ways that it hasn't really been brought up to date with some of the other like layout requirements that we've had. Because it is very much just like straight line, get to base or get to victory point without too much in the way of decision making.
Fight's not over. Prepare for attack. Yay!
Like I feel like Tavira was Heiser's friend, but
We made it. Roger.
I'm not 100% sure on that. The kid's asking, I'm not the most familiar with the Ariado Authority's lore, despite them being one of my favorite factions. They lost in the initial stage of this rebellion because of poor taxes on the Vardas side, right? So, yeah, kind of. Like, they were the warlord that was closest to the areas that had, like, the most rebel strongholds in the south. Like, they were close to Endor. Delvardis at first got a good amount of support from around him, but then he got really aggressive, attacking planets that he had no right attacking, like Solest, and he was just the target of a lot of early rebel rebel movements after Endor just from proximity. So it's hard to say that, like, had other people been closer, that they would have necessarily been more successful, but he definitely didn't do himself any favors, Delvardis.
Tactical battle imminent.
Like, everyone kept telling him, hey, don't attack other places, hold Ariado, because the Ariado elites just wanted their little corner, and they would have eventually still been would have had to capitulate to the New Republic, almost certainly, but it happened about as quickly as possible because Delvardis just... Yeah. Alright, time to invade Alderaan places.
Transport ships. Commence landing procedures.
Hey, nice.
Choose your reinforcements.
This would be a map where it would be helpful to have some other artillery.
Already. Better come up with a plan. Don't get too close. Forming fly.
Our old friends, the bikes.
I hate
Alright, I'm gonna send some of you over there with some crab droids to support. Hailfires, come up with this. Go beyond them. I've kind of wondered how this map would play out if this was an infantry-only path. And even if this got made into another LZ, maybe. But that's the less important part. with potentially another infantry-only path up through the city.
We got here.
Alright,
We've secured
Crabbies,
a landing zone.
sprint on over. And let's support you with some Droideka. Move you guys over.
We've secured a build pad.
Fight's not over.
We've lost a build pad.
Alright, you get in position to support them. Actually, can you shoot into this? Can. We just leave them there, that'll be fun.
Hey, don't leave.
But with these nice little magnets on screen, Inertial just did a Yuuzhan Vong unit that's very similar to them, the Fire Breather. He's been working on the model for that. He's been getting a lot of progress on like Killix and Vong stuff, so that's really exciting. The infantry nerf, like the damage against vehicles, that was a nerf to the like projectile type stuff, rather than a change to the units directly.
Ready to destroy the clone. Scanning vehicle. Made it.
We move back.
We really killed
Alright,
them.
you guys can come in there.
Ready to destroy the clone. Fight's not over.
Alright. Maybe some of these core planets will be a bit easier to take than I thought with the extra infrastructure they needed for like the economy, rather than being entirely like production, vehicle production and everything. That should still reach. I think we've eliminated any turrets. There was a turret in here, I think, that we didn't... Oh, okay, cool.
Construction complete. We've secured a build
Anti-vehicle turret. Kill that first. So, on the latest X2 podcasts, we had a donation goal for me to grow, like, to not shave. And unfortunately we hit it, so now we are, like, 4 days into me having to not shave, which is longer than I've ever not shaved before. I really hate it. But, some of my friends, like, one of my friends since, like, I think we've been friends since kindergarten. His wife just graduated, so they want to do, like, a congratulations video kind of thing, so I have to record that, and I really don't want to have my face look like this for that.
control achieved.
Hate it. Let's save there again. But actually, I think that's going to do it for this first episode, so hope you guys have enjoyed. We're going to keep going here on Twitch. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.